Good morning. Good morning, YouTube, BookTube, the world. It is a Wednesday morning here in Southwest Michigan. It is November the 7th. It is 9:27 in the morning. It is a cold, dreary, dark, gray morning. And I feel like going back to bed. I really do. But you just keep on trucking. That's all you can do. Just keep going down the road. So this morning, I'm on page 934 in my 2018 diary. Should hit page 1000 before the end of this year. And then on January the 1st, 2019, if I'm still in the land of the living, page 1. So yesterday in the mail, I said I was getting some books, and I got the William H. Gass Reader, which I read yesterday. And as I've mentioned, William H. Gass' novel, The Tunnel, is one of my favorite novels. I've shown that in previous videos. I also got in the mail a Christian book, The Theodicy of Love, Cosmic Conflict and the Problem of Evil by John C. Peckham. Says they're based on the canonical reading of Scripture. The Theodicy of Love offers a new approach to the challenge of reconciling the Christian confession of a loving God with the realities of suffering and evil in the world. I've read two other books by John C. Peckham. This is the one I first read. This one came out in 2015, The Love of God, a Canonical Approach by John C. Peckham. And then he put out this one in 2016, Canonical Theology, the Biblical Canon, Sola Scriptura, and Theological Method by John C. Peckham. And this is his new book, The Theodicy of Love. Now, I don't 100% agree with him, but that's why I like reading him. He kind of challenges me. I don't always read books that I agree with, but I like to be challenged. I just don't want to read things that by people that I know that I will agree with. So I got this in the mail yesterday, and I got this in the mail. So I got some reading. My wife just called around 9 o'clock this morning, and she says, "Well, at least you got some stuff in the mail to read." So, but I thought I'd show you the books I got at the Book Nook Monday. These are our library rejects taken out of circulation. I got this Selected Letters of Robert Louis Stevenson by edited Ernest, Mehew. Now I have downstairs in the lower level, I have biographies on Robert Louis Stevenson and some of his writings. I don't have all of his writings. I think I have Robinson Crusoe and some others, but I couldn't. He has Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Kidnapped, which are famous, Treasure Island. I think I might have those in paperback. Anyway, I got his letters to go along with, I have biographies by him. I have a biography on his wife. It was only $2, so. Then I got Imaginary Homelands, Essays and Criticism, 1981 to 1991 by Salman Rushdie. And I got another book Salman Rushdie, Step Across This Line, collected nonfiction, 1992 to 2002. Several years ago, I really got into reading the novels of Salman Rushdie, and ever since then I collect his writings, his fiction and his nonfiction. And so these are his essays and criticism. These are nonfiction. The essays, speeches, and opinion pieces assembled across this line, written over the last 10 years. I don't know, I just think he's a good writer. I've always enjoyed his writings. And then I picked up a couple books on James Joyce, writer of the modernist classic Ulysses. This is, I have some of these also in our library, the Modern Critical Views. You find these at library used book sales. This is James Joyce, edited with an introduction by Harold Bloom. This is on James Joyce. These are like series of essays by different Joycean scholars. I collect books on James Joyce. I have a huge collection. I got this one on James Joyce's Ulysses, Modern Critical Interpretations, edit with introduction by Harold Bloom. This is on Ulysses. And then I got critical essays on James Joyce's A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. It's one of my favorite novels. I always keep it in my main study. I read it many years ago, and it really had an impact upon my inner psychic. And so I got this. And then I picked up on the Harlem Renaissance. Harlem Speaks, A Living History of the Harlem Renaissance. It comes with a CD. I'm going to listen to it. It's on the Harlem Renaissance. This was the era of W.E.B. Du Bois and the Jazz Age, when blacks challenged the status quo. Harlem was in its heyday, and downtown thrill seekers crowded its bars and cabarets and jazz joints. Evocative and encompassing, Harlem Speaks places you at the zenith of the Harlem Renaissance, with chapters discussing the music, art, performance, writing, and politics of the new Negro. Read their rich stories and essays by leading Harlem Renaissance authority Cary, Wintz, and other experts. So this is on the Harlem Renaissance. And then I got another book. I have this one already. I didn't know it when I got it. Ulysses and Us, The Art of Everyday Life, and Joyce's masterpiece by Declan Kiberd. I already had this one. I didn't in our James Joyce collection, so I'll take it back Friday. So that's what I got out of the library. These are all were taken out of circulation. Critical essays on James Joyce's A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. These are essays on Portrait Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. This is on Ulysses by James Joyce, and this is on James Joyce. So I can add those to our James Joyce collection. This is on the Harlem Renaissance. 2 books by Rushdie, his essays and criticism, and his selected works or non-fiction works. And the letters of Robert Louis Stevenson, which I'll put with our Robert Louis Stevenson collection. Sometime in the past, I saw the collected works of Robert Louis Stevenson, and I never bought them. And I still regret that today. So now, if I see a set of somebody's works, like I just bought the works of Anthony, was it Thackeray? And I bought those, and so anyway, that's what I got at the library Monday, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I got those for $16, $20, around $20. When I saw those books, I kind of got a little depressed because these books are taken out of circulation. Nobody's going to read them. They're going to be sold at the library spring used book sale. But it really bothered me that all these great books, nobody wanted to read. That's why they took them out of circulation. Nobody wanted to read the letters of Robert Louis and Stevenson. Nobody wanted to read the writings of Salman and Rushdie. Nobody wanted to read about the great modernist classic Ulysses or read about James Joyce. Nobody didn't want to read these books. And I thought, to me, these books are incredible. They're rich, they're thought-provoking, they're instructive, they're just, and you only get them for a couple bucks, and it so enriches one's mind. And so when I saw, you know, they're taking out 15,000, and I thought to myself, what are they leaving behind? I mean, what is going to be left in the library worth reading? Because America, I think its brain pool is draining. Anyway, that's what I got at the library used bookstore, the Book Nook, Monday. Today is Wednesday. I go back Friday. When I left Monday, the women were in the back going through the boxes, and maybe I'll find a bunch of good stuff Friday. So, like I said, last night I read William H. Gass Reader, and I'll read this today and look at the theodicy of love, cosmic conflict, and the problem of evil. I think this guy is a 7-day Adventist, which you probably don't know what that means, and neither do I, but anyway, thought-provoking. I did, and this book, Canonical Theology, didn't blow me away. It was something I already knew. This was somewhat challenging because I think he was kind of Armenian. He wasn't Calvinistic in his view of the doctrine of God, which is fine. I can handle that. So yeah, so it's now 9:40 in the morning here in Southwest Michigan. It is a dreary day. I'm thinking about getting dressed and going to the store to get myself some supplies in case we're hit with a blizzard tomorrow. I don't know. I feel like going back to bed. I suppose gray, dark days, or you just want to crawl back into bed, which I probably won't do. I'll probably just keep on trucking. So I might make a video tonight. I might not. I'll put these books down into the lower level. Like I said, I'll read William H. Gass, and I'll look at this for my morning devotions or afternoon devotions or my evening devotions. I don't know. I did get I think I said I got an email from Amazon this morning that that Reformation commentary on Psalm 73 to 150 is being sent on November the 13th. I showed you the one I've been reading on John chapter 1 through 12. And I have one that came a couple months ago on the prophecy of Jeremiah from the Old Testament. I've not even looked at yet. So I'm thankful that I still have the mental faculties to read and to comprehend. Sometimes I've been thinking my mind is is not functioning because I get forgetful, or I seem to can't remember certain things, but maybe my wife says it's due to anxiousness. I'm just mentally preoccupied with a lot of crap. So I'll stop my rambling. I will turn this camera off, put the books away, and drift down the river of death into the afternoon hours. Until next time, bye.